This happened to me while I was in middle school. For background, we used to live in a crappy and old house in a crappy and old neighborhood. Our house had two types of fences. In the very back of our backyard was a tall wooden fence, and in the front and sides of the house was a generic white picket fence. The first year that we lived there, it was very quiet. We never saw many neighbors around and rarely heard anything. This changed, however, when I began to hear knocking at my window. This happened for a couple of weeks, and every time I told my parents, they didn't believe me. So I used to think our house was haunted. It creaked a lot, and I always heard weird noises which I counted as evidence. The knocking continued to get worse over the weeks. I remembered thinking that the knocking was coming from the mirror in my room, because it was so loud it sounded like it was coming from my room. I had two windows in my room, one above my nightstand and the other was right beside my bed. The knocking only came from the one above my nightstand. The window beside my bed had a giant metal AC unit underneath it with loud fans on it, and the other window had bushes below it. Looking back years later, it makes sense why it was only coming from the window near my nightstand with the bushes below it.